Poly market users predict a 98% chance that the Fed will not make any rate cuts on June 18th. As we know, the FOMC meeting is approaching, and then there is one that's going to happen on July the 30th and one in September. Rate cut needs to happen. People are really tired. If this does not happen, maybe next month, do let me know in the comments down below what you guys think as to what's really going to happen. We're going to kind of touch a little bit more into this a little later on, but welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP holders. Appreciate you guys as always. Looking across the board going into Monday morning, we're starting to see, altcoins going back into the green. As we can see over the last 1 hour, we are seeing pretty much everything in green. And again, if you're looking at it on a 24-hour perspective as well, you are seeing some coins still in red, but a few coins actually, leading the way, which again is quite interesting. XRP's price $2.23, up 1% in both Bitcoin and USD. The valuation sitting nicely above 131 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume holding above $2.4 billion as well. Before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So first and foremost, let's just kind of touch a little bit more on this. If the rate cut officially happens this time around, I personally think market is going to react in a really positive way. If not, July 30th, that would almost be obviously us entering pretty much the month of August. July 30th is obviously the last day, almost the last day of the month. So, entering August, and I think that could also set us up to go into fall. Obviously, we're still in summer in August, but, as we go into September, that could really set us up. But even if it does not happen these two times, September most likely, I think, needs, well, it has to happen at this point, right? Like, if you're looking at the neighbor country, Canada, it's happening. UK, it's happening. So it just doesn't make sense why, Jerome Powell still hasn't cut it. We're not talking about like 50 plus BPS or, anything crazy, but, 25 BPS increase, I think, is nothing out of the blue in my opinion, but we'll see what happens. Do let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. But of course, getting a rate cut itself would be quite interesting, because of course that would obviously bring in more confidence within riskier assets such as crypto and other assets as well, because people are more leaning to invest money when it comes to interest rates declining. Do let me know in the comments what you guys personally think. But look at this: US spot Ethereum ETF has now seen inflows for its 15 trading days in a row, totaling over $837 million. Shows you signs of accumulation in ETH. These big institutions are seeing obviously a potential when it comes to ETH right now, and the fact that you're seeing 15 trading days in a row where you're seeing new inflows rather than outflows tells you that they see something that's coming, potentially maybe the altcoin season. Because of course, if you're looking at the way the dominance is going day in day out, it's pretty much just been climbing. We haven't really seen dominance do something like it did back in 2021. Look at this decline, crazy decline. Of course, this time around, I stated in my other update as well, we are in a completely different time. You're seeing institutional adoption. You're seeing so much interest coming into crypto space. That's something that obviously we don't want to be neglecting. But look at this: NASDAQ files SEC Form 8K confirming proposal to expand crypto benchmark from 5 to 9 digital assets that obviously include XRP, Solana, ADA, and XLM. And the decision that SEC has, to either accept or reject is until November 2nd of 2025, which of course, in terms of timing, Q4 of this year. So is history really going to repeat itself? Do let me know in the comments down below what you guys personally think. But Ripple and Web3 Salon, supported by Jetro, are launching a new partnership for Japan-based Web3 startup. Open to early stage teams building on XRP Ledger with a focus on DeFi tokenization and payments. Learn how this program will fuel the next wave of digital asset innovation in Japan. Going back to what we've discussed last night, Ripple is not focused on just taking over, one part of the globe. They're not only focused in Asia, they're not only focused in Europe, they're focused globally. Their focus is globally. They want to, revolutionize, the financial sector, the way money moves day in, day out, the way we do banking. And they're really wanting to take the blockchain space towards the masses. And this is once again another example of the many examples that are out there of Ripple making major moves within the crypto industry, and of course within the financial sector actually. But moving forward, take a look at this. Vandal says XRP is going to hit new levels soon. People will be priced out before they understand what's happening, and I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And think about it. The price of XRP back in November was only at 50 cents, even lower than 50 cents. And right now it's sitting at $2.23. Of course, a lot of people come out and say, well, $2.23 is barely anything, which of course, people that are well off might think that, but there are a lot of people, we're very fortunate, especially if you're here, in a developed country. I'm sure you guys take that into consideration. We can take a lot of things for granted at times, but there are a lot of people out there in, the rest of the world. There's multiple countries out there, and not a lot of people can afford it that easily. So of course, in terms of price out, it's happening, and I think it will happen to the point where it's also going to impact people that are in the developed countries as well, believe it or not. And we have seen that happen with other asset classes such as Ethereum, such as Solana, such as even BTC. And I think it's going to happen with XRP. Of course, we're talking about circulation supply. Doesn't mean XRP is heading towards $100 right away. So that's something obviously we need to keep in mind. But even if XRP were to reach, again, I'm just putting it out there based off of what I've seen in the past. If XRP were to reach like $8, $9, imagine it's not as easy to buy one. Then that would cost. Let's just say XRP, for example, hypothetically speaking, were to go for $10. If it were to reach $10, maybe if it doesn't even happen this bull market, but if it were to happen, $10 means that 10 XRP would cost you $100. And when you put that into perspective, that makes you realize the price out is not too far away. And that's what people neglect, and I think that's something that I don't want you guys to be, forgetting when you are accumulating some of these coins. And also, do not neglect to lock in profits. Of course, if you're in for the long haul, you're here for like the next, years and years to come, and you understand the risk associated to it, but you're still, obviously, if you've done your due diligence, you've done your research, and you have invested where you can afford to lose, but patience is your number one key to follow, and the long horizon is your main strategy, then again, patience is your number one key, as we know about that. But I totally agree with Vandal's statement. Do let me know in the comments what you guys think. But on June 6th, VanEck 21 Shares and Canary Capital urged the SEC to reinstate the first to file rule, giving ETF approval based on who applied first, as done in non-crypto cases. So eyes now on a potential XRP ETF. Could it be next in line? So are we going to see an ETF happening, maybe in June? There were a lot of rumors flying around at the beginning of the year that June is going to be the month. Are we really going to see that happening? Is this why XRP is making some strides while dominance is still quite high? Could there be some sort of connection to this? Do let me know what you guys personally think. And moving forward, look at this. Joel Katz will be of course, back on the XRP Apex main stage this week more than once, and he's taking your questions. So drop your questions below, and he will select a few to cover during the closing sessions. Do let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. And let's take a look at what's happening with the price. So 64.7%. So as I stated to you guys before, dominance is showing a lot of strength, not showing any signs of slowing down. BTC did get rejected at the 106,000 key range. Once again, not a surprise for us on this channel. But we want to turn this key resistance into support. If it's able to do that, I personally project we could start pushing up towards the upside. But XRP holding really nicely. We actually pushed up to $2.30. $2.30, and your boy Crypto ZX has called this key a resistance for us to retest, and we got rejected at that range as to be expected. So did BTC. Dominance went up a little bit, so I'm not too surprised, but it's holding really nicely. So slowly but surely, we are creeping up, still in the 38.2. Let me know down below what you guys think. Thank you for all your support. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.